I was moderating the panel discussion about global and local communications and how to combine those communications, because in Davos this year we have discussed that we could not put the question local versus global. It's a question on where there is a border between global and local communications. I think that is, if we'll take from the brands, for sure that there are brands which are presented internationally, and most of people, most of professionals are thinking that and calling those international brands as global representatives of global PR. At the same time, in a lot of markets, there are small local agencies which are meant as local communication representatives. But at the same time, it really depends from which point you will approach this issue. If you will approach issue from the point of view of client, during the discussion was very good point that there is no global companies, because there is American international company, there is UK international company, it's Russian international company. So, and one more issue which is coming in future, when big emerging markets will produce a lot of big companies which will be presented internationally, like companies from China, Brazil, India. Then the question is if that fact will influence also the emerging of PR agencies from those countries, which will start to be international and global communication actors. I think that taking a point of view from business side, if we want, let's say, to get more international clients, for sure that affiliation with international brands usually helps agencies to get more business. But at the same time, for the client, it's important not so much are you brand, international brand or local brand. For them, most important thing is really your competence. Your core competence in the market, they need your services. If, let's say, even you are international brand, but you could not provide certain services or certain level of services, so it means that you are not suitable for one another client. Sometimes, if we are really in specific markets, could be that if you are coming and you don't know local players, let's say the most easiest choice is to pick up somebody you know from the names, but it not always guarantee you the quality, because affiliated companies are not everywhere on the same standard as let's say mother companies somewhere in New York or London. No, I think that if we're taking the perspective of corporations, like big corporations, that it really depends, are they presented really worldwide, or they are just in some areas, like maybe in the US, or maybe in Central Eastern Europe, or just in Europe. But you could not call those companies global if they are not presented in Asia. Let's say they are not presented in Africa or in Australia, because that is also part of our globe. So let's say that is first of all geographical factor where they are presented. Another thing is really, I think globalness sometimes is really perceived also as a standard. How, let's say, company keeps the standards of communication, because those standards are mainly set up by US and UK companies, because communication and PR are really grown from those markets. But in general, the issue is that what will happen in future when big players from other markets will come to worldwide, and what kind of change we'll have in communication and in perception of communication.
What would be the short slogan for Moscow today?
Cold. I perceive myself as a global, because I was working with a lot of international companies, with a lot of Russian companies, let's say helping them internationally to put their communications, let's say, in Central Eastern Europe, in other countries. So myself, I really perceive myself as a global communicator. Well, I think that giving prize is really quite hot and job. So I think that I would think before answering this question.